I hear a certain holiday is coming up this week on Thursday. What holiday? Thanksgiving. Everyone like Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing?
Cranberries.
Mashed potatoes, cranberries, turkey. What about being with family? I like the stuffing, you know. But you know, we think about Thanksgiving and we think Turkey Day, except for the vegetarians among us, and they call that Murder Day. But it's a day to give thanks, and often we do it with our family. You know, but sometimes Thanksgiving, in fact, the holidays in general, can be tough. Because sometimes, maybe somebody we loved had died and are no longer with us. And so we miss that person. You know, we miss their presence. We miss the joy that they give. So sometimes the holidays, Thanksgiving, can be a little blue for some people. That was his case with Martin. Now, Martin was a cobbler. Do you know what a cobbler is? A cobbler. Anybody know what a cobbler is? Shoemaker. Shoemaker, right. No, I'm not talking about the apple cobbler. A shoemaker, okay? Martin was a cobbler back in the 1400s in Edinburgh, Scotland. And Martin had this little shop with a single window that looked out onto the street, and he tried to do his best to provide for his family. And unfortunately, back in the 1400s, the Black Plague came around, and Martin's wife and his 3 children all died. Now, you can bet that Martin was a bit sad. Martin was very sad. And, you know, Martin every day would get on his knees and pray to God, if you're not going to take me now, can you at least please send Jesus back? Because that way he would be with his family. Every day he prayed, and one day he woke up and he was just so depressed. He just got down on his knees, said, Lord, please send your Holy One to me. Please. And then Martin got up, and it was one of those, you know how cold it was this weekend? It was one of those bone-chilling cold days. And you know, those old stores had no insulation, so the wind would go right through it. And Martin looked outside and he saw a homeless man who was just standing there shivering. And Martin opened his door and said to the man, "Come on in." And he sat the man down in front of his fire and he asked him, "Are you hungry?" And he said, "Yes." So Martin went to his pantry, which truthfully didn't have much in it, but he gathered together enough to make some soup, a warm broth, which fed the man, and the man felt warm and the man felt loved, and then the man left. Well, as the day went on, Martin had a few customers that came in, thankfully. A few people needed their shoes repaired. Some people needed the harnesses for their horses repaired. But when he went on in, all of a sudden, there was this woman who came in with her child. And Martin looked at that child, and the child didn't have shoes. Can you imagine when it's really cold out, not having any shoes? All he had was like bandages, cloths around his feet. And Martin sat them down, and he went to his stash of his family's old clothes and shoes, and he found this pair of shoes that belonged to his son that he gave to that young boy, and he was able to have warm feet. And they were so grateful. The day kept going on, and it was the end of the day. It was starting to get dark, and Martin looked outside his little tiny window, and there was a mother and her baby. And the mother had no coat. All she had was a little tiny shawl. And Martin opened his door, and he begged her to come in and get warm. And, well, you know, a lot of single moms can be a little wary with a stranger. But she felt the warmth, and she went in and she sat down in front of the fire with her baby to warm up, and Martin went back into his pantry and took whatever else he could to make a meal for her and gave some milk to her baby. And Martin went into his closet and found this coat that belonged to his wife that he gave to the woman, and she went away warm, fed, clothed, and thankful. At night, when Martin went to bed, he prayed to God again, and he says, God, why didn't you answer my prayers? He said, I begged you to send the Holy One to me today. And in the quiet of his house, Martin heard a voice that said, I was there. I was there with this homeless man. I was there with the woman and her child. I was there with the boy. And Martin remembered then the words from Matthew. When you were hungry, you gave me food. When you were naked, you gave me clothes. When you were homeless, you gave me a shelter. When I was in prison, you visited me. And that voice said to Martin, you saw me. You fed me. You clothed me. You cared for me. My sisters and my brothers, every single time that we help somebody in need, when we give food to those who are hungry, or when we give clothes to those who have no clothes, or when we welcome the stranger into our midst, when we recognize them by name, we are welcoming Jesus. And every time we fail to do that, we're turning Jesus away. This is a season of giving. And my prayer for all of us is that when we see the need that's there, even if we think there's nothing more that I can give, that will do what Martin did, even give the very last of his food, so that somebody who was hungry could be fed. Remember, God has prepared a place for his sheep who help God's children in need. May we all do likewise this Thanksgiving, this Advent, this Christmas, and the year to come. Amen.